Hey guys, how are you doing? Thank you so much for having me along today. I am Mrs. Zuniga's sister and my name is Katie and I am an artist. So today I'm going to be showing you through a few techniques in my art studio and we're going to be working with some pencils. Now I just thought maybe you'd like to see my pencils. Now these are very special pencils because look how many I have got. There's 120 pencils here all together and they are really good. If you can imagine a color in your head, I've got them right here. But that's how many pencils I need because I'm a professional artist. So I need lots and lots of different colors because if I'm gonna draw a mountain or I'm gonna draw a person or an animal, I need to make sure I've got those pencils. So these are the pencils we're going to be using today. And these are like the pencils you have at school. Oh, that's what I've been told. So these are these fantastic Crayola pencils and they have got lots and lots of colors as well. Not quite 120, but they're really good. So I've been practicing with these pencils and I'm going to show you some techniques using these pencils. So I'm going to bring these over with me. And we're going to go and sit at my special drawing desk. So this is where I do all my work. Let me put my pencils down in here and we're going to have them in a minute. So first of all, I am so excited to do this. I'm going to show you the drawing that I have created just for you. So I was very inspired by Maria Marion, who I hear you have been looking at for your project. So Maria Marion, she drew lots and lots of different insects and they were absolutely beautiful, many different types. So I decided to use a dragonfly as my inspiration. Now I really like dragonflies because I think they're very, very beautiful, but they also have lots of different colors. So as you can see on my drawing, I've used many different colors. You can see I've got lots of reds and oranges and purples and blues and greens. And then we've also got different shapes as well. So the dragonfly itself is a really interesting shape and it has lots of different parts on it. If you look at the body, you can see it has these really interesting different sections. I decided to place him on a nice big plant and underneath there are some little bluebells. I thought he looked really, really at home here. So what we're going to be thinking about with our drawing is trying to put in as much detail as possible. Now you can see with this guy, we're in really, really close, so there's lots of detail. Even down to if you look at his face, you can see he's got these little antennae and he's got little bits of fluff around his head and then around his legs you can see he's got little furry legs as well. So I want you to be thinking all the time about color and shape and the detail. What makes one insect different to another insect? Okay, so we're going to be looking at some really simple techniques that you can use for your artwork that's really going to make your artwork stand out. Something that you think, oh wow, that looks really cool, it's really beautiful, and it looks very professional. So to start with, if we have a look at my dragonfly, you can see this wing here is made of lots of black lines. The insides are colored, but the main thing has a black line around it. Now I did the same with the dragonfly when I was drawing him, and I've sent these pictures on to Mrs. Zuniga so you can see how he was created, what happened in the process. So my first tip of the day is to always make sure that you use a very, very sharp pencil. So this is my black pencil that I used, and you can see here he's super, super sharp. And sometimes when your pencils have been in their pencil case or they stayed in their box, you sometimes forget to sharpen them. And when they get really flat, they become really dull. And then instead of having this really super thin line like this, what happens is the line becomes really dull and it smudges easily. So this kind of line, and it says in your little handout that you're going to hold it at a right angle. So if you go back a couple of steps, my handy cameraman, this is Duncan, my husband. So when I draw these kind of lines, if I was at the desk, I would do it like this. So you hold it quite close to the point, and you're almost at a 90-degree angle. So for some of you guys who aren't sure what a 90-degree angle is, I am sure Mrs. Zuniga will explain to you. So this kind of line is really, really useful if you want to do things like the legs, if you're going to do an outline of something. So I could do a little leg like this. Oh, see, already it started to break, and that's what happens when you have these very sharp pencils. So you're always having to go back and sharpen them again, but they stay nice and sharp for a little while. So there you go. So I've just filled him in a little bit, and then I can give him a little foot like that. So you can also use it for eyes or spots like that, and they stay really nice and focused. And then you can also use them for the little bits of fur. He's actually got a little furry head. So if you just do it really quick, lots of little sharp ones like that, it looks really furry and really, really cute. So I've done a small example of my wing here beforehand. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at how I did the coloring in. So if I can just jump over here and grab some pencils, what we're going to do is we're going to grab, let's have a look. Now I really like the red and the blue and the orange and the yellow. So what's interesting about drawing is that often it's about how you hold the pencil and how much pressure. Now pressure is how hard you do something. So first of all, what I wanted to show you is that you can take a pencil like this, and it's going to be quite soft. Now this takes a bit of practice, and you can see. Now if Duncan just pulls out a little bit, he can see that I'm just doing this really soft. Remember how I was holding the black pencil and I was holding it really close like that? Now this one is quite relaxed. So what happens when I do this is how I create what I think of as almost a stained glass effect. And this is similar to what you get on the dragonfly wing here. Now, watch this. This is when it gets exciting. Because if I take the same color and I hold it up close like this, look at that. Wow. So I'm doing it like the black pencil now. I'm holding it really close to the nip. And I'm using a lot of pressure. Like I'm really strong. I'm trying my best to stay between the lines. Can't always be perfect, but I'm trying my best. So there you go. It almost looks like two different colors. And you can do that with lots of different pencils. So let's do one in the blue. Let's do a nice soft one. Okay, you see, oh, it looks nice, doesn't it? So it's almost like it's see-through. And then if I do it up close to the nib, you get a much cleaner, stronger color like that. But this takes a while. It takes a little while to practice. But once you get used to using that kind of pressure, you can go between the two. So what I want you to try is going from hard to soft. And this is the beginning of how we learn to blend colors. So we're going to take this blue again. And you can see I'm going to do really hard. It's like doing a line. And then I'm just going to try and soften it up, like I'm not pressing so hard. Can you see that, how that gets lighter and lighter and lighter? Like that. And then you can try it with the red. Make it nice and strong. And then you just go, ah. Just imagine that you're just rubbing it really, really gently. Oh, like it's on a little hamster. Oh, there you go. So that is our very first technique of how to develop some nice control with our pencils. So we're going to start shading. So from there, what we're going to do next is we're going to take this orange color. So the orange is going to work really, really nice with the pink. So we're going to take a kind of medium pressure and we're just going to put that on top of the pink. And you see there, it's like, ooh, it's starting to blend together, isn't it? And you go, I'm going to go really, really soft here. Okay, that's cool. And then I'm going to take some yellow color and I'm going to do the same thing. So the yellow is going to go over. Look how nice and rich that color is. It's almost like a sunset. And then go, ooh, and it's going to go really gentle at the end. You can just go over the whole thing. So this is the beginning of how we blend colors. That's 3 separate colors, but you can see it goes from dark to light. Okay, so I have done my own imaginary bug here. And this is how we're going to try out our blending. So on your worksheet, you've got a raspberry. These are the pencils that are in your pack. You've got a raspberry, you've got a red, you've got a red-orange, you've got an orange, and you've got a yellow. And then you're also going to need black for some spots, and you're going to need a green head. So I'm just going to grab those colors now for my selection. So I've got my raspberry. This is the red. We've got the red-orange. We've got an orange, and we've got yellow. So you can see you're going from dark to light. So the raspberry color is the darkest color, and the yellow is the lightest color. You see how that almost looks like a rainbow? Cool, huh? Okay, so I've already drawn out my little kind of, it's almost like a little ladybird kind of shape. So we're going to start off with the red, and we're going to use our lines. We're going to go around it. And it's going to take a little while, so bear with me. I don't like to rush these things. I like to take my time. But for the sake of this example, I'm going to try and do it pretty quick. So remember, we put in a nice firm line. I'm pressing quite hard here. So I'm pressing hard round the edges, and I'm doing my best to stay within that black line. Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make it a little bit softer. So on the inside of that very dark line, we're going to go a little bit softer like that. Okay. And then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it on the other side as well. So I'm going to go nice and dark here. Ooh, it's going to be a nice little bug. You know what I love about these insects is there's just so many colors. You can pick 1,000 colors for these insects, and sometimes, if you're really lucky, you see ones that have got a really kind of shimmery color, and I really like those. Those are my favorites. If you're very lucky, Miss Zuniga might show you a few of those on the computer. Okay, so you see that's our dark line. I'm going to go, ooh, going to go a little bit softer. So really you're thinking one little bit hard, one little bit lighter. It doesn't have to be that controlled, because you're going to see that the effect we get is pretty cool. So next we've got red. So this time we're not going to go really hard. We're just going to go quite soft, which you can see here. I'm not using a lot of pressure. So already it's quite interesting, because even though you have used a different color or a different shade, this is what we call them, as different shades of the same color, there isn't a massive difference. And this is how we create this blending like this. Okay, that's really cool. Do that on the other side. And what's cool about it as well is that if there's any bits that aren't very even, or there's a bit that sticks out, when you draw over it for the next line, it covers them up. So you don't have to worry about any mistakes. Okay, so that was nice and soft, that one. And then we're going to pick the red-orange. And again, just nice and soft, nothing too hard. Yeah, it's cool. And remember as well, I can do this really, really quick because I've been doing this for many, many years. Okay. And I want you to know that it just takes lots and lots of practice. And when I drew my my dragonfly, the dragonfly took about, I think it took me about 6 hours. So if you're going to make something that's quite good, it takes a little bit of time and a little bit of practice. So that's me just changing over to the orange pencil there. Okay. That's pretty cool. Now, if you were to take just one of your red pencils and draw the exact same thing again, but just with a red pencil, you'd see how different it looks. You see how flat it looks. This guy is definitely starting to look a little bit more what we call 3D. Actually, I'm just going to blend that a little bit more. So we're going to go very light over the top there. And then we finally have got the yellow pencil. Now the yellow pencil, I really like him because he kind of joins all the colors together. So we can really go to town on this one and go, whoa. It makes it look much brighter when you put the yellow on top of it all. That's really cool. He looks really kind of fiery now. Yeah, look at that. He's having a great time. Okay, let's do the other side. There we go. Isn't he cute? And then if you want, what you can do with these pencils, which I only tried out yesterday, I was like, oh, that's really cool, is if we can just grab my black pencil. So I just pop back and grab my black. And I can pop these guys down. If we take that black pencil, then what we can do is actually go over the top of the other colors. So we can go, oh, you know what? I want to give him some spots. So we're going to give him some spots like that. Hey, and you get some really cool black spots. So if I had a bit more time, what we'd be doing is also going and putting some color on the head. So I thought he'd look really good with a green head. But I want to show you one more technique because I know we don't have a lot of time today. There we go. So you could add a few more black spots on there. How cool does that look? Wicked. Okay, so I'm going to get Duncan to, if I grab my pencils, we're going to do one more little example, similar kind of idea. So if Duncan can come in and he can have a look at my dragonfly body. Now we were talking about detail earlier, so if you have a look at the dragonfly body, what you will see is that along here, these sections, it's not just one big long line like his body's just made of a big long stick. You can see it's divided up into little pieces. And not only are they like little pieces, but they're also the shape of what looks like a brick, or maybe, you know, it's like a doggy bone. Yeah, so it's got this kind of bone shape. So I've already done a few of these bones, and we're going to do a similar thing. So we're going to start on the outside with the black, which you can see here. I've done the outline, and I've started doing the shading. So it's the same thing. We're going to go sort of darker on the outside and then softer on the inside. And then we're going to take blue out of your pencils, and we're going to do the same thing. And I'm going to go over the black. You see I'm going over where I've already drawn before. Okay? It's nice and strong over the black. Okay. That's really cool, nice and quick. And then we're going to take the green blue out of your pencil pack. I love this color. This is one of my favorite colors. You see it's got this kind of aqua color. It's really cute. So we're going to take that. Okay. So this to me is almost like magic because you can never really see where one color separates and it turns into another color. This is what we call blending because you are mixing all of those colors together. They're just all overlapping one another. So we're going to do that quite gentle, like that. Okay. And then the next color, we've got this cool yellow-green color. We're going to do the same again. Yeah. And again, you really can't pick out the separate colors at all. So you just go round and round and round. It's like you're making the sort of hole smaller and smaller each time. You can see there's only just a little bit of white paper left in the middle. It's almost like I'm just drawing a big sausage. Okay, and then the last little bit, we've got some yellow. So yellow being the lightest of the colors, that's the one that we're going to turn to. Okay, so that just about finishes that off. That is all blending really, really nice. Now if Duncan can just go back to the original picture of the dragonfly, you can see how that has worked in the picture. Fantastic! Well, thank you so much for watching today, and I really hope that some of these techniques have helped. And remember, if it doesn't work first time, just keep practicing. Now have a great time with those bugs. Bye!